Oh, hmm. I'm a Barbie girl in a nappy world. So plastic, so nuclear. Oh, mm. Just wait for a second, match? Yeah, the box office and the woke. It's interesting. It's interesting how this is. And there's a few other politics as well, isn't there? Yeah. Yeah. Eventually, one of these movies are going to slow down. They probably made their investment back. That is the budget. But what about marketing costs? That's probably a few more millions as such in marketing. Um, and then you got the prediction of a gross of a movie, like it may underperform, it may overperform with you know. And then you got the certificate ratings as well, which of course maybe that's probably a little bit too late. But this was done, I think. But oddly, I think Saturday Night Fever did fairly well, and that was an R rated. But with the success on that movie and the budget, I mean, it wasn't like they spent 100 million on it. I think it was probably under 40 million or something. I don't know. I've got to look that up. It was very cheap, but because of the subject, disco and that, the 1970s, and that had a what do you call it? An appeal, that sort of thing. Yeah. I think when that movie got to the UK, it played X Certificate, but eventually, because of the popularity, not many what do you call it? Not many well, I'll say school children or teenagers or anyone under the age of 18, X certificate. So they made a PG version or a U or not a U certificate. An A, it would be I think an A certificate. I don't think it would have got watered down to a double A. It probably got an A certificate. So you got one that's got all swearing and everything. It's because there's quite a lot of swearing in it, which gives it the X rate. And then there might be a few other scenes that might be looking a little bit visually too violent, so that get trimmed down slightly or watered out. So you end up with an A certificate, and then you look at the gross on that, on the audience attendance, and that makes, yeah, maybe I don't really care for Nolan movies. I mean, muffled dialogue. I've got too many of his movies. Well, not too many of them, a few of them, and I just can't stand the sound mixes on them. They're just appalling. I don't know who's mixing it or who's listening and who's watching the level meters on the mixing console, and you can easily see that on the playback on the final mix, it's like it's dreadful, you know. Music is blaring too loud on left and right, and it's the center channel's way down there, and you can barely hear dialogue, and it's like, well, what do I do? Do I turn the center up, or do I turn the left and right down, or do I put a crossover or put a high pass filter through on the left and right and bring down? So, but nah, any any other panning sound in the LCR. If that happens, it would just it's total mess. Basically, I just stopped buying Nolan movies. I can't even watch any of it. What I've got now, because it's just like, damn, why is this? There's no control. Got no control. Got no control. Anyway, it's like the control of the box office and that. People buy tickets online now, so tickets are bought online, or you just go into a cinema now and you can just buy a ticket. There's not the hype of, say, like movies, what they were decades ago. It's slowed down. You don't see huge crowds queuing up outside down a road, where the cinema's down here, and you got a queue going all the way to yards and yards. And typically, many decades ago, there'd be usually 3 performances. Sometimes you get a fourth. That might be near the end of the week. They might do fit in a late night show. And the auditoriums would have been pretty full by usually a weekday would be busy on the second performance and the third performance, which would be last performance of the day. If it were near weekend, probably a Friday, Saturday, there'd probably be mildly full. The auditorium capacity might be mildly full by late night show, but usually second and third show usually pretty full, and you see queues, huge crowds lining up. But you don't see that now. You just don't see it. You go to a cinema now and you think, is this cinema doing any business? You go in, you get a ticket, and then you peek in other auditoriums and have a look around to see how full it is, which I've done. And I've seen, like, it's not very full. There's a few in here, but it's not full to capacity. Years ago, I read somewhere some projectionist, I never bothered me. Some would find it depressing to see an almost empty auditorium. That it's like cinema might be coming to an end, and then of course everyone's looking at the sadistics of the cinema, movie, film, whatever industry. How can we get people in? How can we lure them in? The audience, come up with this technique or that, just a gimmick to get the audience in. I think now some of us are become a bit more sophisticated. We know, that's a gimmick. I'm not interested. Unless it was sense around. I mean, Oppenheimer it was almost neck and neck with Barbie. Almost about, I think, just about a day or so ago. It was almost running neck and neck. You got the budget on Oppenheimer. They say it's about 100 million, but plus marketing as well. So that's probably more like maybe 180 million, maybe 180 million. And so the directors, he says he doesn't want to use CGI, so that reduces some of the budget, with not going over the top. So 100 million, so you got to build sets and everything, and all sets, they build them out of cardboard, make it look like they're made out of wood. So you get your cost, your budget down, and then of course out of that you got to pay your actors, or what, you got to pay the film crews. Oh gosh, 100 million. And of course the cameras he's using, all this Limax stuff. I mean, how can you call IMAX? I read somewhere or heard about something about the film being using 17. What was it? What do you call it? 17K. What the bloody hell, 17K? So I think cinema's gone from film, which is still kind of a little bit around, but film today it's just like you probably use that a little bit just to lure in the audience and that, but film today is not really cinema anymore. It's just like hanging in there on a thread, eventually, because film is going to still cost a little bit more to produce the prints, even though it's cheaper than 70 mil, because the photochemical cost for the 70 mil was a little bit more expensive. But DTS sound on 70 millimeter. So yeah, that's probably marginally cheaper than 70 millimeter 6-track magnetic, which would be extremely expensive because you got the magnetic coating. That would be extremely expensive. And how many prints and all this blah blah blah, because with most cinemas all being geared up with digital, which is one reason why I don't like going to cinema anymore. They're all digital. Yeah, but so what? I've got digital in the home. Everybody's got digital. Everybody. Doesn't matter. I mean, unless someone's running, I don't know, some vintage CRT Cafe Ray tube in their home and still like watching movies on a CRT. Actually, they look better on a flat screen. Anyway, let me have a look at this gross. Because Barbie at the moment, Barbie's up to about 344 million. So an Oppie, he's lagging behind at around about 170 million. So he's made his money back, Nolan. He's made his so-called his money back investment on the 100 million spent, but it doesn't look like it's going to be like a success with because it's got to make at least at the minimum 5 to maybe 600 million to be a real success. Otherwise, you might as well just rent or hire or buy the other 1989 the other 89 version called Shadowmakers. titled in the UK. In the US, it was titled Fat Man, Little Bomb. No, Fat Man, Little Boy. Fat Man and Little Boy. Um, the nickname given to the atomic bombs. It's the same subject. It's the same story. Only it's more focused on the development of the device or the gadget. But this version, one, it's over an hour longer. I don't know how audiences are how they are today. I mean, is the soundtrack going to be sophisticated enough to even when it's not dramatic, but it's got everything going on in the sound mix environment to even give the geek in the cinema on the edge, you know, because it's like it's a hit and miss sort of thing. Dances of Wolves did pretty good. It did better than The Godfather 3. And Dances was just a little bit more running time, but the subject matter and the story and that, and even though I find it very hard now to watch Dances of Wolves because it's got two scenes in the movie that are really sensitive, and it's the horse scene and the wolf, and there's two scenes of it just it tears me apart, and it's just a bit awkward to watch it now. Years ago, it was different. But now today, because I've got animals and cats, I just find it awkward to watch. But it did far better when it played versus The Godfather. When I saw The Godfather Part 3, it was like I was almost falling asleep. I was getting so tiresome in the auditorium watching it. And the only thing that woke me up was the helicopter scene where the gangsters are all getting shot up. Da, 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 da. I love the smell of gangster in the morning. Da, 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 da. And all the gangsters were all getting shot up by helicopters. And that was the thing that only woke me up. And the rest of it, I'm just like, I'm really bored watching this movie. And it was really, had a. And then, of course, the ending. But it was really a totally depressing movie. It was just people, wanting territories and out for themselves and looking to do other people in at the same time. And I thought, oh dear, this is such a. I ironically, I got The Godfather Part 3 coming on Laserdisc, which would be playing here in THX Sound System. I think it'll be either this week or early next week. The Godfather I'll be doing a kind of Chinese THX Godfather 3 experiment. Because I heard from the horse's mouth when The Godfather Part 3 played at the Chinese theatre. It took out one of the compression drivers on the stage, probably maybe the center channel, because that might have had the most strongest part of this audio signal, and it just I thought that was interesting. Didn't know that. That was interesting. So I thought, when I was emailing, and I thought, yeah, I've just at this point, I've just ordered The Godfather because I like to try this experiment, because I've never had a HF horn. I've never lost a HF horn to a movie. Maybe to a fault on the sound system where an output went out from the DCX, Behringer DCX one time, and it took out nearly all my 5-screen HF horns. I think only one survived, but it sent out such a high signal because the amplifier levels are set at a certain level, and the signal that went out was right up at clipping level. It was a nasty sound, and it was just enough just to burn out the voice coil. So all I had to do is just replace our diaphragms. It's not a big deal, but it is a big deal when you got to go behind the screen. You got to pull all the speakers out, and it takes hours of work. So it's a big deal. So anyway, yeah. Barbie, let me have a look. Barbie will be a very, very short running time, but it's got a feminist, it's got some subject matter on it that pissed off a lot of people. I don't really care for the movie myself. I don't care for Oppenheimer. I'm not going to buy either one of those movies. I'm not even going to rent them. Even if it were for free, I'm not even going to bother. I'm just curious with how the box office is going with woke movies today. You got something that's totally woke, utterly woke. You got something that might be, yeah, it's okay, but I've seen some clips of leaked, Oppenheimer, the detonation of the bomb, and it's just like the music playing, and then suddenly it goes kind of silent or quiet. I might have been playing the scene back on the laptop speakers, and there might be some low frequency there. If I maybe played it on this, I'd probably hold it in my hand. I feel something, like, oh yeah, there's something there. Or maybe if I go on my system in the room, my THX system, I might notice something there in that the camera microphone, the phone camera is picking up some sound. Because some people will say, oh yeah, it blew me away, blah blah blah. I don't know if they're being sarcastic or if they're trolling, but from what I can see in the it's like, well, that seems underwhelming. They're and I don't know about the broadcast of the because I tried to look up that, because it seems real in the movie Shadowmakers, where, because you got the viewing points of where the military are and where the scientists are, and they use radio communication, and in the movie it picks up a radio station, and it happened to be playing some music. I don't know if it's a little bit of artistic license, or I'm trying looking at it because I find it kind of interesting. But it plays pretty well in the movie where it's playing. It's the Nutcracker Suite, and the way the music plays and builds up to the tension to when the detonation of the atomic bomb, because the scientists didn't know what to expect from it. It's untested. It might fail. It might be just a kaboom, but it was from just the first few. It's all on Wikipedia, all the facts and everything, but the altitude that the damn thing got to in just barely a few seconds, got to an incredible altitude, and then just kept growing and growing as it progressed. I'm not sure if the other thing in the movie Oppenheimer is also talked about, where one of the scientists was doing things with tickling the tail. So you got two spheres. You got one spear down, one spear here and another spear here, and you got something in between, and you got two screwdrivers, and you're balancing this plutonium or such. And the character that plays it, or the actor, John Cusack or Sushak, I think, in the movie, his character's name is changed. If you go and look it up, it was a scientist. He lived 9 days until it killed him, because an incident that shows in the movie happened in the lab where the two spear came together and went super critical, and there was a glowing blue. So what you see in the movie is more accurate to, because that's what the scientists saw, a bluey color. Of course, he knocks the spear off until it went, but got a lethal dose of radiation where he had a bad taste in his mouth, literally, and then a warm feeling in one side of his arm. That's creepy. That's really dodgy stuff to be messing around with. You know, it's the same with anything that's light or sound. Too much of it, too much sound, depending on what area you go into sound, speaker audio and blah, blah, blah. Too much of that at a certain frequency is not good for your health. I got tinnitus, so that's due to Battlestar. That's not due to my system. That's due to Battlestar sensor round back in the 1970s. If I knew what sound pressure and dB frequency and cared about it, I would have. But commonly, sometimes we automatically do this. If it's too bright, we do that because our eye, so we do that. And then we can see what's in front because we filter out. Otherwise, you get it's overexposed on our eyes or our mind or noodle, but it's not good for your actual eye, the iris. But sometimes we might do this, because we notice something. It's getting like ouch, and we do that. So, we do this if we get a little scratch or burn. Our senses are picking up. Our mind is registering. And there's still a lot of unforeseeable things that sometimes we're not even aware unless we go and get test equipment and start testing around to see if what is going around. Are we getting too much of it? Eating, drinking, that's also the same. Yes. Eating, yeah. I wonder how many people will be eating in the cinema because sometimes you can't bring your own food. Well, that's not true. You can bring your own food. I don't think cinemas go around searching everyone's bag and everything, unless you're bringing it in and it looks like you're advertising you got food in this bag. Otherwise, they got no right to search our bags. Because everyone's got a phone. They know everyone can use that to video, whatever, but it doesn't really matter. You try post a video, it might, if you do it in such a way, it might not get taken down. It might stay up, or I don't see the big deal really. I don't really see the big deal. I mean, it's like man goes to the moon, they take pictures, they video. It's not like the man on the moon is saying, hey, you can't take pictures here, you know? They took a lot of picture and video, and well, actually, the video was TV transmission on the moon, but they did a lot of cine film and photo still. So yeah. Also, sometimes showing a spoiler of a movie in a cinema, like, oh, spoiler, and then it's like no one's interested in going and seeing the movie, or maybe some are curious. It's like being nosy. It's like, oh, gossip. Oh, yeah. Some people probably, got that gossip interest. They want to know about this character and all that, and yeah. Looks like Indiana Jones didn't do very well, did it? It didn't have enough power in his bullwhip. Wasn't whipping it out at the box office now, was he? Well, that's Kathleen Kennedy's doing, and Bob Iger, and that's their doing. And frankly, once they've done it once and done it twice, that's where you stop all interest, no interest in Star Wars. They not only done it once, they did it twice. Twice with all these great minds, and they can cock it up twice. Oh dear. Never mind. I don't have that Last Jedi. I really don't. I don't even have the other one. I only got that rubbish Force something smell awakening. I don't even watch it anymore. Oh, bad stinkers that make these movies. Yeah. So it looks like Barbie's going to totally blitz Oppenheimer. So it's just going to totally blitz it. So if Barbie's budget was about 145 million, it's done 344. Yeah. And its running time is only about 1 hour 56 minutes. No, 114 minutes. That's under 2 hours. Yeah. That's under 2 hours. Actually, that's not really true, because if you go and see Oppenheimer, which is a 3-hour movie, roughly how long is so by the time you get your ticket and you're in the auditorium, you're sat down, they may be playing non-sync music. I don't know. Cinemas today are completely not the same as what they were decades ago when I did projection. They're totally different now. Odeon, they stink. They suck. All they have is this stupid what, I don't know what the fuck that is. They got this stupid thing playing on loop with that stupid video projector, and it's like, this is so boring. Where's the bloody non-sync? I don't mind if it's some music I don't particularly like, but where's the non-sync music? Oh, crikey. Even non-sync music slightly changed with some cinemas over the years, because then they started playing the actual soundtrack. Bear, get off of it. Get off of it, Bear. Where's the what's it, Bear? It's a no-no there. You don't go up here. Oh, where is it? Oh, there's a naughty cat in a Barbie world. Plastic. Oh. Where's the torch? Where's the torch on this? Oh, get a second. Oh, there we go. Oh, where is it? Where is it, you naughty cat? Oh, it's down there. Oh. Oh. Naughty cat. You're naughty bear. Yes, you are. Naughty. You're a naughty kitty cat. You go up there. You go up there, bear. You don't go up there. Okay. Turn that off. Okay. Yeah, I know. I know it's boring, isn't it, bear? In a Barbie world. So nuclear. So plastic. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, interesting. I don't know why they still got this thing going. It'd probably go off after about maybe a few weeks. I don't know. But when you go on, when you type Barbie in Google, and you get all this, the screen goes pink. They got some. So there, Barbie has had to pay Google or something. So when you go to you type in Barbie, the screen goes pink. You get all these little things going, all these little stars flashing. Oh dear, that'd be switched off, deactivated by about after the film finishes its theatrical run. Maybe. Let's see. Yeah, Oppenheimer, 174 million. Yeah. Yeah. Let's have a look at that. So, that one. No, not that one. This one does rating. Bear, will you leave magic alone? Hey, stop growling. Bear, you are a bully. He's bullying you, isn't he? Well, I'll tell you what, magic. I'll tell you what. We're gonna report Bear. We're gonna report him. Hassling you. He's hassling your fur. You leave him alone, Bear. Cats are very unusual. Yeah, Oppenheimers and definitely R rated. So that's equivalent to say maybe an X certificate. I don't understand that. You got two versions, or maybe you got a TV show which came out before they made the 1989 film version. But Oppenheimer in the UK is rated 15. That meaning school children can go and see it. But is it the same cut? Is it the same cut? Is it anything being cut or whatever? Is it the same cut? Not that I care. So I'll look up Shadowmaker. I told you, get off of there, Bear. Go on, stop it. My cats they're working together. They're working together so that they it's a lure to trick me into getting me to feed them. But no, Bear is he's a big bully. He's guilty, aren't you, Bear? Yeah, lovely cat, isn't he? He's a lovely cat. Yeah, you stop that. Stop hassling Magic. Bear. Be good. I'll feed you in a moment if you be good. No, that doesn't mean chasing after Magic again. Yeah, blimey. You could say that the Shadowmakers, it kind of flopped at the box office. Yeah, its budget was 30 million and it gross was about 3.5 million, so it didn't do very well. But the possibly the subject matter, I don't know what the rating is on this. I'll have to look at the so I'm pretty sure it would have been something like a PG or PG-13. No, it was a PG certificate. Let's just check that, because that's PG also in the UK, because the UK certificate rating changed around early, I think it was 1982, early 80s, yeah. The certificate rating. So what's the certificate rating USA? Yeah, PG-13. So so PG-13. So that's like having something very mild. That's not too graphic or too violent or any swearing. But does let me go back and look at because usually they state in the just got to feed my cats. So I'm gonna have a mutiny. Wow. Yeah, I know. Wow. got your biscuits. Biscuits, yeah? Got the biscuits. Got biscuits. Okay. Okay, so let's have a look. Have a look at these. Oh yeah. That's probably the coolest part. Whoa. Real THX here. All the other home theatres around on YouTube bragging. They haven't got real THX. They think they have, but they haven't. Except me, of course. It's just not dedicated enough now, are they? Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at IMDb again. Usually it's pretty informative. Pretty informative. Okay, biography, drama, history. Let's have a look. Scroll. Let's see. Where is it? Oh no! According to IMDb, I'm just looking at the gross. Says about 100. 80 on its. Yeah, okay. I'll look at that technical spec and later on. Storyline. Usually it says somewhere up at the top here sometimes. Maybe if I click on the rating again and have a look. Certificate rating, sex and nudity, violence and gore, right, okay, profanity. That's profanity. Profanity, translation meaning fuck you, Oppenheimer. That's profanity. Okay, it's only got it's only got maybe. Well, it doesn't exactly say. Maybe if I click on it, maybe it'll give me some. Oh yeah, it uses fuck in the movie. Fuck and shit and hell and damn. Damn, I don't think that's too bad a word. Damn, I mean, what's wrong with that? Charlton Heston was saying damn dirty apes and damn this, damn dirty earthquake, and he was always damn, and then the dam busted in the earthquake, and then you got a dam of fucking water coming down on you in Senseround. Feel that. Yeah, so Oppenheimer's got fuck in it. It's got has it got drugs and smoking? Well, I think Oppenheimer smokes, so I think he smokes, yeah. So there might be some people might be offended by that, So that reduces some of the audience. Think about it. Oh, what else? Okay. Blah blah blah. Well, we know they're making we know they're making a demonstrable weapon. Then everybody has it. So you give it to the government. The government's got it. I wonder if they got a commission or. I wonder if they got a commission out of that. A big deal, a big piece of the pie. They made a weapon that was costing, well, they always moan about it. Oh, it's costing the tax dollar. It's costing this and that to build it. just so he can use it, kaboom, and then wipe out 200,000 people in just a few minutes. Rather than using conventional. Yeah, but today everyone's got it. We even have a little bit of it in our home, you know. I think smoke detectors, they have a trace of radioactivity as such in it. It's tiny, it's teeny, but I guess if you go and grab a lot of it, maybe you can build your own, like that guy did. He built his own power station in his home or in his back garden, so to speak. Bear, I feed my cat Bear and he goes bonkers. Cats are like that, even if they're outdoors. They do the same behavior, the same similar behavior characteristics. Some cats tend to maybe like to stay away from other cats because they want to be relaxed. They're just like people. Some like to stay away from other people because maybe, I don't know, maybe someone's politics or belief or maybe they stink or smell. There's all sorts of types of stink and smell, you know. I mean, I don't really want to say out loud, but you go anywhere near anyone that's smoking and that, and you get covered in there. The smell that they are smoking, and you just get covered in it. And then you walk around and you go somewhere where it's no one else is around, and then you notice this smell is following you. You don't know where and then until you realize, oh, I'm covered in cigarette smoke. Oh, and yeah, that stuff stinks, you know. Someone said a roll up is not as bad, and yeah, I do notice the smell of a roll up doesn't, you know, is not as potent. Yeah, a cigarette, yeah, it clings, yeah. But there'd be just like anyone that say sprays humongous amounts of hairspray, and, and all you can smell is freaking bloody hell. If you put a match anywhere in there, it's probably so damn toxic. It'll probably go kaboom. Oh, and yet you can get covered in that. There's so many sort of things that you know. Yeah. So you know, people's beliefs and politics and yeah. Anyway, let's have a look at the other thing. All right, so Oppenheimer's got some swearing in it. Okay, that's probably why it's got an R certificate, and it's not doing very well at the box office. But that's strange. That's strange. Let me look at, say, something a little bit. Let's have a look. Bear, will you calm down? Let's have a look. Aliens. Aliens, 18 million. That its budget almost 19 million. Almost 19 million that. And it's worldwide. Its worldwide gross taken 131 million. It kind of made its money back and made an investment over and over and over and over many times over, mostly. Yeah, that's got a lot of swearing in it, and yet, I think because of maybe popularity of Alien and then Aliens, I suppose younger audiences probably try to find a way to, you know, get to see it, or well, they would eventually on VHS, or on VHS tape. They'll mostly get to see Aliens, wouldn't they? Well, with so yeah, yeah. There's quite a few other movies that do big box office. That Beverly Hills Cop is another one. That would be an R rate, and that's got a lot of fucking swearing in it. And besides getting thrown out of a fucking window, I got thrown out of a fucking window. That looks so real in the movie, even though it's probably sugar glass, because a window like that, a window of that type, wouldn't shatter in the way it did in the movie. That's safety sugar stunt glass, or I think that's what they call it, sugar glass. I think because real glass would break in a certain way, because on a window that size for an office building, it'd be a certain thickness, and it wouldn't really easily break the way it did in the movie. It would break in a certain way. You could get a bag of fill some bags up or whatever, and get and throw it actually through a window, and you see how it breaks, and oh boy, you would get badly cut. You would get badly injured, because it would be, some of the pieces would be so still sharp and large pieces and jagged. But the way you see it in the movie, that's bullshit, because it almost got like totally disintegrated. That's bullshit. That's sugar glass. It's like when you see all that Die Hard shit, going through a fucking window. Like, it looks totally different in the movie, because I think they use the type of, maybe, a certain type, but you would just get badly injured. You would be badly cut. You only have to get cut in certain ways, and then you'll be bleeding in such a bad way. You barely wouldn't be able to walk around after a while, because you lose pressure. You won't be able to stand up. You lose your blood pressure. You'll collapse unconscious. Anyway, that's movies. That's movies. Yeah. You got to put your brain in a jar when you go into the auditorium, because you got to suspend your disbelief and sit in a cinema seat while being kind of catatonic. um, anyway, let's have a look at this. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Barbie gross, blah blah blah. Let's go and look at the other thing now. Let's have a look at this thing with 17. So I think that's what I read, unless it's been exaggerated. Technical specification. Okay, what we got here? What we got here? Blah 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 black sheep blah blah blah. I don't read anything here on the technical specification that's saying 17K. Otherwise, I'll be reading it. I'll be able to see it right here in this technical. I don't really care for higher another high definition because it's like 8K. You know, that's not going anywhere. You look at, like I say, they're trying to push this other technology, OLED or LED screen. LED screens. You're from Japan, are you? You're from Japan. Japan. Well, if you're from Japan, what is it? About 10 hours behind? No, it's 10 hours forward, isn't it? Yeah, Japan is that way. That's east over that way. That's west over that way. So Japan's that way. So you're like, boo, 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 boo. What time is it in Japan then? Without me having to Google that and look it up, because it's got to be about what? It's got to be early in the. It's got to be early hours in the morning. It's only 7 o'clock here, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's no way Japan is 5 hours in front. It's more than 5 hours, I think. Probably 7 hour. It's early in the morning over there. Over there. And then America's that way. And they're like lagging behind in time. How does that make you feel? Does it kind of feel like Back to the Future now? Yeah. Yeah. And I bet it's clear sky in America. Over here it's cloudy, and actually it's pretty decent because you don't have hot weather. You sleep easy at night time. Sleep easy. Where hot weather, it's like, oh, you can't sleep at night. You gotta have some air conditioning thing turned on. You just don't. You just can't get an easy night. Yeah, we're we're in this little we're in this little we're in this little sphere, you know. Yeah, we're in this little sphere. You see partly. You can see a bit of the light there on the from the light there. You can see a bit of the light, yeah. Oh, I can actually do another demonstration. I think this has been done before. You know, there are plenty of videos, you know, that show this sort of simple demonstration. You know, for the non-believers. Oh, I've got my cat Bear looking at it. Oh, not good. It's not very easy to do it. The camera, no, it's not easy there. But my point, point is, you put some light partly onto the globe, and the that's where the light is, or that's where the positioning is to the sun. So that's like the sun, the light, and we go round it, whilst also we're rotating, and so light shines on one part of the Earth, and on the other side, on the other part, it doesn't. It's in darkness or in shadow. Yeah. Yeah. but it's very shadow here at the moment. I think with the overcast, daylight or night, it'll probably get dark by about 9 o'clock rather than 10 o'clock because of the overcast. I know where the sun's position is at the moment. Or at least I know where the Earth's position to the sun. The Earth, or this part of the hemisphere, is positioned to the sun over that way. So it's almost, it's not quite near the horizon yet. It's not quite near to the horizon. Not until at least until about 9. Yeah, it's going to be like this all week. Raining. Plenty of water. That's what it's all about. Water. Without water, we can't survive. Too much sun and things dry up. Animals get pissed off, and farmers, agriculture, they all get pissed off, and everyone else that wants to buy the product get pissed off because it's not on the shelf because there's a frigging drought. Things slow down, don't they? But the thing is, with the Earth, we're surrounded by sheer freezing cold temperature. We just happen to be in the right location. This planet just happens to be in the right location, the right position. Where we get a little bit of both. If we go too far near to the sun, there wouldn't be anything here, I don't think. Just how far, I don't know. Doesn't really matter because once the fuel runs out on that sun, kaboom, that's it. Venus, Mercury, Earth, the satellite, Mars, well, maybe the asteroid belt, then Mars. Yeah. It's depressing. That's going to happen. Now, had you talk about this 100 years ago, you get tied to a stake and burnt. Yeah, they're having a barbecue. Burn the witch. Ding dong, the witch is dead. The wicked witch, the wicked witch. Yeah. Today we can talk about it. We can fantasize the world is flat. It does seem that way. But if you look very closely at that, you can see it curving slightly. You go down to the beach and you look out, set the camera up on a tripod and you can see it. It's curving out to the edges here. But it's subtle. It looks like it's flat, but it's not. It's slightly bending, slightly and slightly and slightly and slightly. Oh, maybe a lot of flat earthers have never been on an aeroplane. A lot of scientists haven't even been into space. So, yeah. Or maybe the entire universe is flat. Huh? Doesn't really matter. We ain't going anywhere. We can't explore it personally. You can send spacecraft out there, and that's it. Once their power's depleted and they got nothing to transmit or receive anything, that's it. They're on. Communication is lost. And even if it has power, the more further it goes out, the longer it takes to send and transmit a signal. To receive and transmit, it takes days, months, years. And who's going to sit around watching paint drying until you get a signal? Oh. Yeah, anyway, back to the box office. So this, I don't know what I was reading. Maybe it was total bullshit on YouTube. Sometimes you got to take YouTube with a bag of salt. But I don't read anything on the technical specifications here that says anything like 17K, which would be digital. So it's like going a more higher resolution. I think someone said one time 4K was almost equivalent to 70mm or something. Or it might have been HD was equivalent to this. Equivalent, but technically not the same, because film is film and it's transparent and you can hold it up. Film is film and you can hold it up to light. Get this a little bit clearer here. I can't even see what this. Oh, this is Star Trek. Oh, maybe if I put some light subject around here. Oh, you can just make out the Enterprise. Oh, there we go. You just make out the USS Enterprise in anamorphic. See. I'm not always clever and smart like this. That's just well lampshade. But it's transparent, you know. It's transparent. It's not like you know, you get Oppenheimer on that, yeah. Just because it says Oppenheimer on it doesn't mean it's Oppenheimer. It could be Barbie does Debbie in Dallas. We can't have that on the screen now, can we? Barbie does Debbie. In a licky world. So tasty, fantastic. Can't have any of that now, can we? I wouldn't be surprised if there are porn versions already. Oh, Debbie does Ken. Oh dear. But I don't see anything about this 17K. I guess next thing is check Wikipedia. Check that. I can't see anything on IMDb under technical spec. No, it just says 65mm, which is often standard film size. A few digital Limax transfer. 35mm is still out there, but it's like it's not really there anymore. It's like hanging in there sort of thing. Eventually it will get totally phased out. Even though some directors are trying to push and trying to keep it still relevant. But it's not. There's very few cinemas around here. There's only one cinema around here. That's up that way. That shows 35mm. I think they got a digital projector. I'm not too sure, but let's have a look. Yeah. So plot. No, let's go. The production, writing, casting, filming. Okay, filming. There's only one, two, three. There's only 3 paragraphs. So I could read through. Blah 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 blah. I'm not seeing anything about an ultra high definition. I'm not reading anything like that here. All I see is 65mm IMAX, Limax. They don't even mention 35mm here. Um, let's go to Fiat. What's it say? Theatrical, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, of course, with that striking, wasn't it? That striking. Yeah. Are they still on strike? I don't really care. I don't care if they bring the whole film industry and the cinema industry down. I don't go to cinema anymore. I've got zero feeling. You might think I'm trolling on this, but no, I used to once like it. But one day, I suddenly had an urge to dislike it. I just don't like cinema anymore. It's not the same. It's not the same style. Um, it's just not the same. Well, if you go for your kids, then yeah, your kids ain't gonna know any different. They wouldn't know. They wouldn't know digital or actual film if it fell on them. So if you take your kids, then that's okay. Don't deprive them. Don't deprive them of it, but that's what they're going to grow up with, and that's what they're going to adjust with. Just if I was a kid, I would adjust to digital. I would totally be adjusted to TV media. It's all TV, it's digital. I'd be totally adjusted to that. Um, but film has stayed around for it's still it's it's hanging in there, it's hanging on a thread. It's been around since the late 19th century. Film. Since since they took film with on a large plate, I think, and then it's exposed and then taken to develop, and it's a very careful, delicate process. You can only take one picture then, and then put another thing in, and then take another. And then film came along, celluloid, eventually in the earlier 20th, and then it's all on. Um, I like to get a 35mm camera and actually try and take some film with a film, but it's sending it off to get developed, which wouldn't take long because there are not going to be that many people now using it. So it's not going to be like a um, a very long waiting time. I don't see any point me setting up a lab. I've got no room here to set a lab up to develop film. Otherwise, I learned that at school how to develop film, the process, and that was only black and white film because the school was on a budget and wasn't affording to buy color film, and it was just using the camera and the technique and the camera, the aperture and the ISO and all the focus and whatever what other skill technique. Yeah, but I like to get a 35 and just compare it to that, or compare it to compare it to these crappy things. They are a load of crap. There's a bit of a glitch on my phone here. It's got a bit of I'm not sure if it's a bit of dust, or if it's a pixel issue, but I think it must be an issue on the actual, and it's etched onto the. So every time I do a video, there's a little freaking mark on the bloody screen, which personally I don't like this phone. It's a load of crap. Don't like it. It's cheap. It was cheap, but I don't like it. I want to fix this one. I want to fix this. I've got to take it apart, take all the electronics out and put it into another one because I've got another screen for this because this screen's gone faulty in some way. Sometimes it randomly has a mind of its own. it has an AI. It's artificially intelligent now. It does what it wants to do. So yeah, I just want to take the electronics out, and but I've just not motivated myself because it'll take about an hour or so to do the swapping the parts around. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind buying this one again. It's got stereo sound on it, so you've got stereo microphone. So the thing when you buy a phone, yeah, check the phone to see if it's got stereo. This one's only got mono, so it's only got a microphone that's down at this end, but there's no microphone on this end, so it's only recording mono sound. Well, I'm kind of getting into mono laser discs again, so yeah, but don't see why it shouldn't be stereo. Yeah, so you got to check the specifications when you go to a shop. I think I had plenty of time. I wasn't pressured into getting that phone. I wasn't pressured. I should have evaluated it a little bit more, because I took it for granted that it's going to have stereo sound on it, because I thought that is the norm for that sort of thing today. But not true. My other laptop here has only got mono sound recording. This laptop's got stereo recording. So if I record a video onto its drive, it'll be in stereo, but not in broadcast. Not unless, I guess, I stream through another system, and then the video comes out on YouTube in stereo. So kind of got to go. Yeah, it's a bit too much, I think. Run around just to get fucking stereo sound. Who cares? He's got stereo here. You see, no one cares. Stereo is just reflections of sounds, and otherwise, you could put an earplug in one side of your ear, but when you talk, even when I do that, it sounds very weird. You know why? Because I'm hearing partly exterior sound on the outside, plus I'm hearing more sound internal, head cavity sound. It sounds very weird. That's like when we hear your videos on a video. You do a video and then you hear your voice. You may say, I don't like the sound of my voice. It doesn't sound right. That's because when you're talking, even now, I'm still partly hearing in cavity head sound and external sound. So there's sound here, and so that's kind of three things really. So when you hear it on the playback on a speaker, good speakers, full range, you're really only hearing one thing. You're missing two other things. That's why a bass shaker is good, because you put a bass shaker on your seat, on the seat bucket, on the seat at the back. So when you're sat, yeah, you can tune the bass shakers so they're not 80 hertz, crossover. Tune it up to about 200 or something, maybe a little higher if it can go a bit higher, and then you relax back, and then you can feel some of that sound, like, yeah. The other part that's missing from the recording. Otherwise, I do that, and I sound very boomy. My voice, in a way, it sounds very boomy, plus a bit disorientating, because I'm not hearing equal pressure. If I do both ears at the same time, that's okay. That's all right when I'm talking. I don't feel disorientated, except I can make sounds like that. Yeah, I can still hear that. Um, mm, 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 mm. If I try to do some low frequencies and then I can feel where they sound, I can feel some of it going there and then some of it then dropping down a little bit lower. Psychoacoustics. See? See, yeah. Psychoacoustics and how everything, I don't want to really get too much into it because it makes me it really creeps me out, it does. But yeah, you try doing that. You try doing that. And then listen to these movies and all the playback and the experimentation and yeah. But it's not new. What I'm saying here isn't new. Scientists have done this decades ago. But it doesn't always often get talked about, especially when it should be a video about box office and the woke and the but I don't see it anyway. I'll go and looking back. I don't see anything on Oppenheimer's 17K projection or whatever. Oh, Pat, will you stop it? Will you stop doing that there? Only cat that does it. Yeah. Let's have another search. Simple. Oh, I put a simple one in there. Oppenheimer's 17K. Not very good result. There, will you calm down? He's so fucking pissed off. I don't see anything on. Let's see. Bear, will you calm down? God. No, I don't know what that was. I was watching the other day, but I don't really care because all right. If 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 a high definition camera of 17K was used, so what? So what? It ain't going to come out into the home. It ain't going to come out into the home any soon, because everyone's talking about, oh, maybe 8K, but it ain't going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. And what the fuck? 8K, you need a very large screen. If you look at it on a very small, you're not going to notice it. I don't even notice it myself. Frankly, my dear, between looking at sometimes a DVD to a 4K, I don't really notice that much. I can still see, oh yeah, that fine little hair, that sort of thing, I can still see that, it's still there, visible. I just, you got to have a screen that's very large. The larger the screen, if Laserdisc was shown on a very large screen, it'll look very shabby. It would look shabby. If you showed 35mm on an extremely large screen, very large, it's gonna like have imperfections that you're gonna notice, and it's like, And then you got 70mm on a more or less the same size screen. So if you had 35mm put on a very large screen, it's probably going to look a little bit, I can see this and that, blah, blah, blah. Then you get 70mm. Oh, okay, that's a little bit better. And then you want to go more larger and big screen. And so they have that IMAX thing. And it looks okay. Kind of. And then they go from this IMAX down to a LIMAX. IMAX, LIMAX, IMAX, LIMAX. I don't understand that. They know they've got a version that's not true to its IMAX. Otherwise, don't you think they would make it larger? So if there's a 17K or whatever I was reading or seeing a video, a 17K, that would be, well, that dwarfs 8K, dwarfs 10K. Yeah. And where's it going to get projected at? Yeah, I mean, if it's projected still on those regular, well, they call it an IMAX screen, don't you think they want to build it a little bit more larger? And those things are built from the ground up, It's not like they take over a cinema and convert it. Well, it just doesn't have it doesn't have the size or scale, and they're just lying to the public with a LIMAX, like they do at Empire or Cineworld in Leicester Square. They're lying to the public, and it's only on the tube train travel round London. It doesn't take too long to get to something called the BFI, and the BFI can show anything from 35mm. Well, probably, I don't know. Maybe it can show 8mm and 16 and 35 and 17, LIMAX, IMAX. It can show those things and VHS tape. VHS probably can, because if it's got a digital projector, then it can show anything from Betamax, VHS, Laserdisc, you name it, because it needs a video device for that sort of system. If it's film needs film, and certain film, depending on the size of the, it's like IMAX can only have IMAX, I think. Look at him scoot. Yeah, it's like Betamax is Betamax and VHS is VHS. You can't put the I don't know. Can you take the tape out on the spool? Take the tape out of the VHS and the beat and swap it. But I don't know. I don't think it would play, because I think of the way the video signal is encoded onto the tape, and the signal would be slightly different. Yeah, I think the signal would be slightly different. You'd probably just get a load of noise. It'll play, it'll run. I'm not sure if it's the same thickness, the tape. It's the same thickness, same width. So that's probably why they got two formats that are completely different. Betamax, Blu-ray, HDVD. Oh, the discs are the same size. Same as a compact, same size as a compact, same size as a, but the encoding on it is totally different. Encodings. Yeah, it's all plastic at the end of the day. Film is plastic. Film is plastic, like a Barbie world in a fantastic world made of plastic. So fantastic. Yeah, I'm surprised Barbie's not showing in IMAX. Well, it probably is. It's probably Limax. uh, yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look on that. Bear, you need to relax. Go and relax, Bear. Oh, you're going bonkers, Bear. Barbie Bear. Yeah, Barbie. She has pets. She has dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. In a Barbie world. So fantastic. So plastic. I wonder if Barbie has plastic surgery, even though she's all plastic. In a Barbie world. Bear, will you calm the fuck down? Calm down. You're going to give yourself a heart attack. Let's have a look at the technical spec on the Barbie. Well, there's not much technical spec here showing, really. It's got an aspect ratio to 2.001. 65 Panavision System 65 lenses. 4K 6 point blah 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 D Cinema DCP. So fantastic. It's in plastic. So look at that up there. Go down. Bad influence concerns. See, I'm wondering when they're going to have the movie version of Action Man, and they add eagle eyes, and you've got this thing on the back here, and you move it, and the eyes go, eagle eyes. So when they're going to have Action Man eagle eyes, when they're going to have the film version, I'm surprised they didn't put it into Barbie, You could put Action Man with Barbie, because he's Action Man, Ken's just Ken, he's not Action Man, he's just Ken. They could have put Steve Austin in Barbie, the Bionic Man, the doll, the Bionic doll, they could have put that in it, you could put all this all in one movie, and then they wouldn't have to make that movie called The $6 Million Man. Dun 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 dun, 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 dun. So we have the technology, we can rebuild him. Only this time it's going to cost $6 billion. $6 billion. Yeah, I don't think that'll ever take off, that one. It'll be just another woke movie. No one cares. Might as well just watch the TV show. Some of the episodes were okay, some of them weren't okay. It's just like Star Trek. Some of them were okay, and some of them weren't okay. And you go back and look at it again, and you might have a different view on it next time. You might think, well, I actually think this is good now because I understand the politics. Because Star Trek most of the time was kind of politics. It's always kind of like what's out there in the universe, you know. And it's like this planet. Well, they're not so different to us. They got some problems, and only what they're doing here seems a little bit too much, you know. So I'm Captain Kirk. I've got to try and, you know, violate the Prime Directive, and you know, because I've got feelings. You know, that's Captain Kirk. You know, he's got feelings. You know, that's why he likes to violate every Prime Directive under the sun, because he's human. You know, and he gets away with it. He doesn't get thrown into the brig. Yeah, because you see some of the problems that we've done on here on Earth, well, in Captain Kirk's universe, that is, and understanding the history and how we got away from that through great cost. And then you come across another planet, it's more or less doing something similar, only on a bigger scale, like that TV episode was called A Taste of Armageddon. And that's kind of like a nuclear sort of thing with Oppenheimer, because they were not nuking cities or whatever. I think there were 2 planets, I think, a neighboring planet, that's it. And they weren't launching real attack. They were doing it with a computer. And then the estimates were, the casualties were estimated, and then every planet has got what's called a disintegrator, and then you go into it and then you're vaporized. They go in, Captain, but they do not come out. A disintegrator, Mr. Spock. It appears so, Captain. And he wasn't going to stand by and watch that now, was he? They're just mindlessly walking in and, yeah. So he violates the Prime Directive, puts it straight, you know. It's like with countries and nations. Every country now has got this bloody weapon. Yeah, there's plenty of other things to look at. Like if you want to sort of like have an atomic kind of movie session. There are lots of movies, right, that have got the theme, the theme of atomic, minus Atomic Blonde, because I looked at that movie the other night on what's it, streaming, only in Dolby Stereo, and I thought, what that's a load of rubbish. It's got nothing to do with an atomic bomb. I thought it was some sort of you know, something like that, but it was like looking at a cross between the movie Salt, where it's you know, Angelina Jolie running around doing stunts like bloody something out of the Matrix or something. It was entertaining, but I didn't really like Atomic Blonde. But if you want to have like a movie sort of week session, because it'll probably take a week. How many movies have got a theme? Well, like say The Spy Who Loved Me. You know, you got this Stromberg character, and he's stealing nuclear submarines without a trace. They just vanish in the ocean, you know, without a trace, and no one's got an idea where they've gone. So he wants to. I don't understand the character of that, because the mentality, the stupidity of it. Just so he can have a life under the ocean with the Little Mermaid, under the sea with the Little Mermaid. All the top part of land is going to be bloody radioactive. So what about turtles when they go and migrate on the beach? You know, they're going to be around all that nuclear radiation crap, and then they go back into the ocean. I don't think Stromberg thought it through much. He's a complete loony wacko. He had to be stopped. So yeah, there's that movie. There's another movie that's pretty grim, and I've only watched it once. I've never watched it twice because it seems so very grim. It's called Day After. It was made in the early 1980s, during still around the Cold War period of the superpowers. It's a very depressing movie. When it gets to the end, it is very depressing. So if that's your sort of thing, yeah. Another movie, more or less, made about 1990s or something, called By Dawn's Early Light, where an accidental or rogue nuclear missile has been fired from another country just so it can escalate, which it does. And then you got two presidents, Russia and the United States, trying to figure out what's going on, who's doing this, and missiles have been already fired at America, and missiles are going to be soon fired at Russia, and to accept the damage, and then we'll cease fire. And mindless. It's just bonkers, just totally bonkers. There's that movie, which I've recently got on DVD. I like the drama of it, but another movie, that's made based on the Cuban Missile Crisis, called 13 Days. That's pretty tense. Before my time, early 60s, 62, 63. Russia were very slyly sneaking in nuclear missiles, two types of missiles, I think they were sneaking in. Short range and then long range, or ICBMs. Just sneaking them in under the Americans' nose, under their until someone was watching and realized, what the bloody hell's all this, Oh, that doesn't look good. The sneaky buggers. Because Russia, even if they had fired them from their side, ICBMs, but they wanted to use other missiles at shorter range, and that's sneaky. That had to be stopped, because they were plotting, obviously. So that's a pretty tense movie. Let me think. Other movies with nuclear kind of theme. Hunt for Red October in some sort of way. Hunt for Red October. Russian submarine captain has had enough and decides to steal a nuclear submarine, just so he can use it, just to get to the other side, just so he can defect. But no one's got any idea if he's legitimately defecting, or if he's just trying to sneak up and then launch all the missiles, and then that's it, and then escalate it into a nuclear holocaust. That's a good movie. The other one, Crimson Tide, where a nuclear war might have escalated into and so they launch all their subs and everything, and during the submarine being in the ocean, under the sea, with the Little Mermaid, under the sea, get an EAM, an emergency action message, that was cut off during an attack between a Russian submarine under the sea, and they don't know to launch or not to launch missiles, and so ends up into a mutiny on a submarine. So the executive officer disagrees with launching or need confirmation on the message, whether it's legit or to abort or whatever. What have you done with that bear? It's there. You don't go up there, Bear. I don't know what it is with my cat Bear. He always comes up here. This is a shrine. And I keep thinking my cat Sooty may be in Bear. I've adopted the anti-cat Christ. Yeah. I've adopted the Antichrist, the Omen 999 actually 999 lives. You know, if you turn the sixes around the other way, they're the anti-cat Christ. He's not normal like any other cat I've had, and he's a bit he's mature, but he's not calmed down. He's not calmed down. Yeah, so what other nuclear movie theme? Ronan. They got nuclear missiles and bombs, or are they trading something in it? I can't remember. I got that on Laserdisc, Ronan. Can't remember. I know they were doing there were some dodgy dealings and things going on. I can't remember what the plot was on that now. I suppose in some other way, Rogue One might be kind of nuclear with the Death Star. The way it fires at the planet and the way you see the kaboom, in a sense, and then you see a CGI of it from outer space. And in a way, it kind of looks like the same similarity with Armageddon when The Rock, which is in a sense, like a nuclear weapon, because it's got so much, when it impacts, it'll have so much megaton than so many nuclear bombs put together. Oh, you're going to give it a try. Oh yeah, practical effects. Yes, practical is it's making practical effects. I don't know if practical effects are more difficult to achieve the illusion of, because depending on what sort of practical effect it is, if it's model work, if it's models and trying to make them look realistic, photo realistic, so it doesn't look like a miniature, or explore pyrotechnics without the aid of a computer adding in something else, unless maybe a computer could be used to, say, remove wires or something, so you can fly people around on wires and then just use the computer to remove the wires. Otherwise, what's the big deal? You go to a theme park, okay, and they have these theme park rides where, we're going to reenact samurai warrior flying through the air with their swords, and they're going cling, 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 and they're flying around on wires. What's the big deal, What's a movie I got? What I'll get to that. But I'm just trying to think of other depressing other movies that have got that kind of got an atomic feel to it. But I think a few or most of the other James Bond movies does. GoldenEye, GoldenEye. That's kind of like a nuclear thing with an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, rather than actually dropping a nuclear bomb. Use an electromagnetic pulse to completely blitz every electronic device and put everything back into the Stone Age. And I'm just trying to overview that movie because the character in it, all he and his little partners in crime wanted to do was just steal money, and then if detonating and okay, that's over a certain area. Yeah, it's not everywhere, so it's only a certain area where they want to use the GoldenEye, focus it, and then EMP. So the United Kingdom would be in the Stone Age or something, but they'd have all their big money transferred into another account somewhere else, and then they just get that, and then I suppose they get it turned into hard currency. I don't know. I think it's pretty loony, if you ask me. Deep Impact, yeah. Meteor, Deep Impact, Armageddon. Yeah, both of those movies have a nuclear because they use nuclear missiles to try and defend the planet Earth by collaborating other countries. With Meteor, it was still set around the Cold War. So you got missiles above the Earth, one over the US, one over the Russia, and their plot in the movie was to have these missiles firing outward so they can defend, but were used for the opposite and trying to get the Russians to admit they've got a version, the same version as the Americans. They got the same platform and trying to combine that power together to defend one meteor coming in very large. Yeah. And then you got Armageddon and Deep Impact, both at the same year, both at the same time, the same year, different theme. One's a bit soap, one's a bit action drama driven, while the other one's a little bit more soap opera. And both are not too bad in a sense, even though yeah. One's longer, one's slightly longer running time than the other, but not too long. Armageddon had a slightly longer running time, but not too long. The thing is running time. When James Cameron had The Abyss out in the cinemas, and its running time was pretty long. Now he seems to be making movies that are pretty long, longer running time than the Abyss. And when he had The Abyss restored on Laserdisc, and with a theatrical release as well. But The Abyss didn't do very well. But now everybody wants The Abyss. They don't want Avatar. They want The Abyss. Where's The Abyss? Where is it? I don't see it. But it's not like I've not seen it. But everybody wants it in 4K. But I don't really care really much to have it in 4K. I've seen the movie. I got it on laser. I got it on DVD. Anything but a TV broadcast. TV broadcast would be nice because you'd have Q dots in the corner because it would be a print version rather than into positive. And the color, I believe, is slightly different than the home video version releases. The color is slightly different. It looks almost true to the theatrical release, from what I can recall seeing around a friend's house back in the just around the late 90, around the 98, 1998 or 1999. Channel 4 was showing The Abyss, and I only had a slight glimpse on his plasma TV, I think it was, and I could tell the color was slightly different to what it looked like on the home video release. But I didn't sit in to watch the movie, so too bad really, because I felt if I would have been at home, I would have recorded it, and you'd get the Q dot in the corner. You would get the Q dots. You don't see that now because the Q dot is only there for film, A, B projector. So you got two projectors. So you got a reel here and a reel there, or a spool of film. And you start this one up, and just when this one's about to end, you start this projector up. And then you take reel number 3 and then put it on this projector. So when this one just ends, you get the idea, and you go through the process. That's what the real dots are there. The little Q dot is just there to tell you when to start the projector and get it to merge. You get the film to merge, so seamless, you don't notice. You only have to fall asleep or have a coffee, and then you miss your mark. But the film will still play. It'll have a gap of black screen and no sound for about a second or two, and then but yeah, that's what it's there for. Plus the quality of the sound is a little bit different, I think, on a print version and to an interpositive. I'd have to get 2 versions. I don't know, maybe 2 versions of The Man with the Golden Gun. I might buy another version of The Man with the Golden Gun. If my surmise is correct, the soundtrack should be totally different. It'd be the same soundtrack, of course, but there should be a difference in the actual dynamics. There is on the DVD, because it sounds like it's cleaned up. Cigarette burns. Boop. In the industry, we call them cigarette burns. Boop. No one knows they saw it. Boop. Oh, what was that? But they did. Even Tyler even a hummingbird can't catch Tyler at work. Nice big cock. That's so funny. Oh dear. What projectionist would have the nerve to do that? If you didn't, you get fired. But that's what you could do. You could splice out, and you can do, or you can write letters, scratch the film and write "fuck you" on the screen. No, that wouldn't work, because you check the film and then you think, what the fuck? Someone to check it. You can't do that with digital, I don't think. I don't know if digital is actually foolproof. But like I say, you don't know what you get a hard drive and it says it's movie that. Yeah, okay. You load it up, and then maybe it says that. You know, it says that on the file, it's loading up, blah, blah, blah. But when you actually look at it on, what the fuck? Get this off the screen, you know? Someone could, they could. It's possible. I don't know if anyone's tried it. Does give me other does give me other anyway, what was that thing you were talking about? The how many films have I got that actually totally, they don't have any matte paintings, they don't have matte, well, if it's something practical, then I'm not really into the director Woody Allen. I just sort of thought that name, Woody Allen. So maybe some of those movies would use everything's practical in it, you know, because it's usually just dialogue in it, a bit of jazz music, because that's usually typical sometimes what might be playing in the any other movie. I'm not sure. Well, Dances of Wolves, I think that's got a matte painting. I think that's got some matte painting in it. But mostly it is probably large by large practical. Bear. Yeah. No, Bear. Down. That's not a scratching post. You haven't been to Specsavers, have you, Bear? No. That's not a scratching post. Practicality. No, that's got visuals in it. But practical effects. All right. Look at it another way then. No CGI. Well, CGI started to slowly come in around during the early 80s. That's when CGI started to slowly creep in. Early 80s. I think Last Battlestar Fighter, Last Star Fighter was one of them. But when you look at it, it looks like a Sega game. It looks like a Sega game when you watch that movie now. The very early stage process on that, and of course they just go further with it. Hang on, there, get out. They go further with that, don't they? Look, down. Anyway, over 2 hours on this, so I'm going to stop the video now because I'm obviously my conversation is driving my cats a bit stir crazy. So Bear does this because he wants to be on camera. Okay, you be on camera, Bear. You see that? See that there? No, it's not feeding. You're just being fed. You got dementia. Look, biscuits are over here. I'll just rattle it a little bit. I need to feed you early. There, whoa, look at that. It's just like going to the fairground. You just had one of those. Can I have an ice cream? Because I'm feeling a bit ice creamish. I've got to have the ice cream here. I've got to have it here, the ice cream. My cat Magic is trying to get the ice cream. Look at it, he's licking it. Well, all right, I'll put a little bit in your bowl, okay? There you go. Oh, it landed on the floor. In your bowl. There you go. A little bit of ice cream. Can't you keep it in your bowl? No, you're not having any ice cream, Bear, because you don't even like it. Look, all right, I'll put a little bit in your bowl, but I know you're not going to eat it. I know you're not going to lick it. He just stares, he just looks at it. Oh, now he's licking it. Now he's not licking it. Oh, no, so you're not interested with it. Oh, leave Magic alone. So he wants to lick the ice cream. Are you satisfied with that? No. Okay, you had some ice cream. You dink bag. Oh, look at that. Look at that big piece there. But the thing is, you don't appreciate it. I'm surprised you actually like the flavour of this Magic. I'd have thought the flavour would have been too sharp. Too zest. Actually, I find it a little bit sharp. It's only the orange part here, the orange part, the actual ice cream. The centre is a little bit different flavour. But it keeps you cool. Be cool now. Da, da, da. Be cool now. Da, da, da. You're going to knock that over.
He's trying to get a Mission Impossible. Dun, 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 dun. Wait, be patient. Okay, there you go. And where are you going? Mission's up here. No, mission's up here. You meant no, Bear. Do you want? No, it's like kryptonite to him. Doesn't want it. You want to lick that? Come on, up. Come on, jump up. Yeah, you got to jump up here, Magic. Come on. Come on, jump up. Well, you lost the ability to jump. Bear, do you want some? No. Kryptonite. Oh, this ice cream's like kryptonite. Oh. Bear doesn't like it. I found your weakness. Ice cream. Come on, Madge. Oh, no. Wait. Fucking hell. What the fuck? I didn't say knock it all over the place. Now there's ice cream everywhere. There you go. Lick Bear. Lick me. Okay, you've had some. All right, I've got to clean this up. Yeah, lick me. You've got bloody ice cream everywhere. Yeah. Lick me. Where, strange cat. You, calm down. Or I'll get some ice cream. What's that on your eye, Bear? What's that on your eye? Hold still. No, hold still. Let me clean that eye. There you go. All right. Okay. Wow. He's okay. Oh my goodness. Oof. I was right, Anakin. The cats are taken over. I like it when they're relaxed and they're calm. They seem so peaceful as a species. You know, some people may find it boring watching a cat moving its tail around. You know, while it's saying, oh yeah, it's moving its tail around in a certain way. It's like watching paint. Yeah, you paint the wall and you. It's not dry yet. You're just watching, waiting for it to go dry. I wonder if painting a wall sounds different. I mean, has anybody painted the walls, painted a room, and then done a frequency sweep, and then repeat the frequency sweep afterwards after it's dried? Would there be a difference? Because I suppose depending on water-based, oil-based paint, I think oil bases are kind of not very green in a way, because it's got oil, you know. And the smell as well. The smell of it. Whew. Oh, you can't go in the room for about well, I don't know. I think maybe some techniques have been used. Bear, will you stop it? My cat Bear's going bonkers again. He's making a very demonistic meow. It's gone a bit strange again. Come on. All right, calm down. Calm down. Hey, look. If you wear a flower in your hair. Oh, he's very irritated. He's very irritated. He can sense when this thing is turned on. He can sense it. I don't know how, but yeah. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. And, oh, play with this bit there. Look at that. Oh, there's a bit of string here. Bit of string. Cat's favourite. Cat's #1 toy. Piece of string. You see, we buy all these expensive toys for cats, and yet the simplest one is some string. Oh, and then he has the biscuits, and then he scoots off. The biscuit feeder. And then scoots. I think Magic got to that bit far faster than you, Bear. Yeah. In case wondering, I'm not in the THX cinema because I take a break. I take a break from all this. I don't care to give my ears. George Carling is my absolute favourite comedian. Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. So he could do movie review, rather than having Gene and Roger doing the thumbs up, thumbs down. So I could do that. I could do like
it's trying to put myself into a kind of, well, sometimes I feel bit feminist. Doesn't usually come out there, but sometimes. But I'm not. I'm pretty 100% straight. I'm not come out of a closet. At least I think I haven't. Maybe COVID. No, I'm not going to make any crap jokes about COVID. I lost my bloody family because of COVID. So, how would I feel about Barbie if I was a girl? If I was a female, how would I feel about Barbie? So I'm looking up, which is one of these, so I've got to be like, how would I feel about Barbie if I was a female? Well, I know there are some females that like to be like toy boys. Toy boys, that toy boy, yeah, kind of. They have their hair cut different, short, whatever. They dress differently, of course, as well. They don't wear skirts. How would I feel about Barbie? It's a very difficult sort of thing to think that. Well, maybe if I put a flower in my hair. If you wear a flower when you're coming to San Francisco, wear a flower in your hair and be happy. If this movie was made, Barbie, if it was made with the technology that it's got now and was released 25 years ago, would I have seen it? Yeah. My cat bear is trying to find things to cause disruption. Don't know why. Bear, come on. You're like those characters in that Star Trek TV show. They're called the Cloud Minders, the Disruptors. Disruption, the Disruptors. You are a disruptor, Bear. That's what he is. You've been watching too much Star Trek. Yeah. Well, you haven't seen that episode, have you? You're the Disruptor. I don't know if I got it on Laserdisc. I got it on DVD. I think everyone's got it on DVD. I just don't know if I got that episode on Laserdisc. There's a bundle here. What are you doing, Magic? Are you staying up here or getting down? What are you doing? Go on, get down. Doesn't want to make up his mind. No, I don't see it there. I want to change this. I want to modify this thing up here.
called? Cloud Mindering Disruptor. What's it called? So Armageddon. I haven't got that episode. No. Oh. I can see now why. I can see now why that laser discs are a bit of a pain in the ass. Because of the way you got to store them, stack them. You got to stack them vertically, and the problem is they got to be 100% vertical, more or less. A laser disc, if it gets slightly warped, it can settle. It takes about maybe 24, 48 hours to get the warp out of it. It's only gradual bend in the plastic, that's it. It'll only bend to so many degrees, and then it will snap or it'll crack or get a... I'm not sure about this one. This has been on the shelf for quite a while. Just having a look at it. Looks okay. I'll do a visual inside because there was one time I noticed it had a bend in it. It took about, I think it was Alien AC3 Laserdisc. It's only a single disc Alien. This is okay. This looks okay. Just give it a rotation. Just hold it and go gradually rotate it, turn it. Let's see. It looks okay. Visual inspection looks okay, but really these have to be stored vertically, and it's with the weight of the laser discs. They're a bit heavier than an LP disc. A little bit heavier. Let's check the what's it? Okay, it's good there. Hungry cat. Hungry. Wow. Hungry cat. Yeah, you're being fed. Oh gosh, takes a full, keeps on ticking. I'm getting careless. Oh, yeah, it's on there. Okay, yeah. Okay. Wow. Wait. Calm down, Mr. Magic. No, you're not calm down, you're not relaxed. Calm down, you're being fed. You're being fed. No, you're being fed. Okay, turn system. Are you being fed? I'll give you a petting. There you go. Want another petting? There you go. Side one. Maybe side one. Okay. Yeah, got to sort that out. Oh, so got so many positives, negatives, and ground wiring. It's hard to keep track of all these things. Very, very hard. Very hard. Oh yeah, one final thing. Magic out of the way. So that's the thing, you don't feel these bass shakers in these films with all these big sub bass, and you watch that movie, you see that thing happening on scene in a movie, and it doesn't have the bass in it, the Foley. I think lots of things to look for, because you record sound production wise, and you got a lot of things that are in the background in the sound you don't want there. You don't want those sounds there. That's why you got to re-record it. Microphones and can only be at a certain position. But you compare an actual recording of an actual versus a movie. Well, the real thing's going to be way better than the movie soundtrack. I don't care how much LFE bloody the damn thing's got on it. It's way better. But it depends on how much detail they put in it. It's like I've watched the movie Heat so many times now. There's so many versions of movie Heat title. Talking about 1995 Robert De Niro Heat. There's a scene where I was looking in the background when they're doing the heist in the bank and they're disarming the police, disarming the security officers and that. And I could see where one of the actors are picking up one of the props and then he throws it to the floor. But there's no background sound in the background, no like tiny little sound or anything. I'm thinking, supervising sound editor or the set, they've totally missed that little bit, because in a real recording, it's going to pick up, depending on the sensitivity of the microphone and the recording level on the microphone recording, it's going to pick up whatever sound is in an environment. I've got to deal with my cat. Yeah, leave Bear alone. Or Bear leave you alone. Whichever it be. Oh, fuck's sakes. What am I on? PC, Laserdisc? Yeah, right, okay. Need to be on 7.1 input, okay. Laserdisc. Should come up. There we go. Starship Enterprise. Boldly go when no Laserdisc on. And the Laserdisc's okay, even though that Laserdisc has been on the end of the pile. I would have thought it would have been warped on the disc, but it's playing. But like I say, if the Laserdiscs are at an angle like that, that's not good. That's bad. They got to be literally that. And it's not easy when you got to have easy access to get to the Laserdiscs. The thickness of a DVD box is a little bit thicker than a Laserdisc, so that's like the thickness of maybe at the most 2 Laserdiscs, maybe 3 at the very least. Then that's about the thickness of 3 Laserdiscs. That's not including the sleeve packing and that, which the cardboard would be a few millimeter thickness. Look, it's Captain Kirk. That's Captain Kirk. See, looks bloody awesome, doesn't he? Look absolutely awesome. See, that's Laserdisc. It still looks good. It still shines. It's very, very
practical. It doesn't look too over the done with Blu-ray, 4K, 8K, 17K, whatever the bloody K they're using. It's the same thing, it's the same story. You buy a book, okay? Even books now are being digitized, or audio books. So you could listen to someone interpreting the book. I listened to one audio recording of an audio book of Alien, and I've heard two versions. One version was on YouTube a while back, and then it's not there anymore. It's gone. It's vanished, but it's probably still out there somewhere. And then there was another version of Alien, but it was narrated by someone else differently, talking. I'm not sure if the same running time, because the first one of Alien was almost like 10 or 12 hours long. And it's like, you can only listen to so much and then come back the next day and then listen to the next chapter and so forth. But it was well detailed in characters, the characters of their who they are, what they are, how they become to be on the spacecraft, what their habits are, and so something about the character. The film's only got so much time to tell that, otherwise, if the film tried to tell you a little bit more, then the running time's going to get longer, and then it'll end up being as maybe not as long as the audio recording book, but it will. Well, why not? People watch TV soap shows, don't they? We all watch them. Some people might go, say, maybe into whatever TV show they're into, and they like to catch up on some past episodes. So they watch an entire season, which is so many episodes, and they watch that in a weekend. That's more longer running time than most movies. Most TV show episode running times are maybe 46, maybe 55-minute running time, and most people would go through that. So why not a movie? I read some comments where they said, "Oh, why couldn't this movie be a little bit more longer?" Crikey, it's 3 hour long or something, this movie. I might say the same about a cult classic, The Right Stuff. It seemed well performed. It wasn't overdone with CGI. It was practical effects, a lot of it, with stock footage put together and everything. And it's just basically just telling the story of 7 astronauts, 7 wives, and one test pilot and his wife. And that's more or less the story. And when it ends, it's like, oh, damn, why couldn't it have been just a little bit longer? But it's just 100 and it's over 3 hours, just over 3 hours. And why couldn't it be just a little bit? It probably was. It probably minutes of it were cut out, and it's on the. It's now in a can, and it's stored somewhere. It's probably degraded, deteriorated. Could I myself watch a movie extended version after seeing a theatrical version so many times, and then There's some people that like to have a desire for something that is a little bit longer, and some people probably just want it just the way it was, how it was. Oh, look, this is the episode where it's a taste of Armageddon, and so they're looking at these viewing screens and thinking, "Oh my goodness, we've just been hit by a disruptive weapon," and then it's like Captain Kirk's thinking, "Huh, that's odd. Don't notice anything, and what's going on? What's happening here?" Until you realise that they're just playing war games, but putting people into disintegrator machines and vaporizing them into nothing. Well, that's active genocide by the tens of thousands, and it's yeah. Got the aspect ratio wrong on this. It's a little bit stretcherama. What do you call it? Stretcherama. Um, this episode looks like some of those video games that were made during the 1980s. Space sci-fi video games. I can't remember what it was called. It was a video game where it had a bull, and rather than a joystick where you're holding it and just moving it or moving it this way, I think it was a bull. It was like a spear ball, and it worked on gyro, like a gyroscope sort of thing. And you roll this ball, and I think there was a button that you press. I can't even remember what the game was about or I can't even remember what it was called. I might ask a friend. He might know. He's into video gaming, and I might ask him. Just curious. That's all. I don't care to play it. Not.
Hundred years. Under ordinary conditions, no civilization could expand. You mean to tell me? You mean to tell me your people just walk into a disintegration machine when they're told to? We have a high consciousness of duty, Captain. There is a certain scientific logic about it. I'm glad you approve.
How could you have such strange cold feelings where this guy is a leader? He's a kind of leader on this planet. I lost my wife to the last attack, but our culture goes on. He doesn't feel like beaten up or this kind of like episode of like Star Trek, this Taste of Armageddon is almost like another episode, even though doesn't have a kind of nuclear atomic kind of sort of sense theme to it. It's where the planet's completely overpopulated. I'd have thought they would have used this sort of thing in that episode. I think it was
God, I don't even know what the episode's title called. But they could have used that thing to purge, that sort of thing, and reduce the population or introduce condoms. Yeah, in the 21st century, have condoms been phased out? Laserdisc always kind of has a slightly brighter image. If I get this on the 35mm cell and look at the quality of the color, the picture resolution color, obviously, the purity of it as well, the transparency of it as well, comparing it to because the DVD is slightly only has a little bit of picture resolution to it. I think the other thing I'm not noticing on this Laserdisc transfer of Star Trek is no edge enhancement. There's no edge enhancement on it. It might have a very soft degree of digital noise reduction applied. It might be very soft, not hard, where it's totally noticeable and looks very weird, sort of thing. But this Laserdisc looks okay. It looks looks okay. That's fine. A little bit, maybe a bit. I think maybe turn the color down a little bit because the red uniforms look a little bit unnaturally kind of look like paint that's glowing. Look like kind of that luminescent paint. It kind of pisses me off. You got to go into the settings. All these digital devices now we have, even though now I'm not talking about Barbie or Oppenheimer much now. So, I could say all these. Anyway, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop this video. I'm gonna do another rant. Anyway, so thank you to Silent Wake number 5. Number 5. You haven't seen what Austin Powers? Number 1. Oh dear. Okay, I'm going to stop this now, and thank you to anyone that was curious. Okay, I was legitimately about the woke and about the box office and all that. How things are going today is like the audiences and that, and I'll just touch up just a little bit. Like you don't really see lines of people queuing up outside a cinema anymore. You just don't see it anymore. That doesn't happen. I've not noticed it. Not since, really, to be honest, the last time I really kind of noticed it was Batman, and that was 1989. And previously, before that, it wasn't even Return of the Jedi, not even The Empire Strikes Back, because that Star Wars thing had calmed down. You know what I mean? Calmed down. I've not really seen it on
biggest public line queuing up, not since Star Wars. I don't even recall that with Jaws. No, I think it was me and my dad first night, or not the first showing of, because the movie probably been playing for a week or maybe a month. But when we went to see it, no, it was easy. There wasn't hardly any big queues. There was a queue, yeah, but not going around the corner, around the whole block. That was Star Wars. That dominated. Two large screens. And screen one here, no, screen one here, screen two here. And the queues went round the road and round the back and met round the back at the around the block. And that is a long queue. And weekdays, 3 showings. Maybe weekend, Friday or weekend, there'd probably be 4 shows. But, you had to come back the next day, because once it got near to the final show of the evening, that was it. Seating capacity's full. We can't. You have to come back tomorrow. So that's how big the queues were. They were huge. Just to see something that was a combination of Buck Rogers, Tarzan, and a Western movie put into this mixture of a science fiction, and everyone was hooked on it, and some were kind of not too sure about it, and probably, yeah, I was entertained. Probably didn't see it twice or 3 times, unless some that did see it more than once, because there wasn't anything like that on TV. Not for at least a few years, until it came out on VHS tape, and then I think maybe another year more, so until it was aired on TV. Yeah, took Jedi, I think, 3 years until it got released on VHS tape, and Laserdisc. Took 3 years. Whereas today, you're looking at maybe less than, I don't know, 5 months. Maybe 5 months, and it gets released. So, this Oppenheimer thing will be it'll be on disc before the end of the year. Barbie as well, probably November, December. Or you can get this other thing, which is expensive. I think I'm seeing a little bit of edge enhancement now on Star Trek here. I think I'm noticing a little bit of edge enhancement there. Can't see it on that bit there, but I did see it on another bit. Yeah, I can see a little bit of edge enhancement, but it's very mild there. I can't see it on that scene there, on that bit there. So, yeah, it's weird. You know what to look for. I know what to look for, and I think this Star Trek TOS on Laserdisc is a bit of a mixed bag. Sometimes I think a little bit edge enhancement may be used, and sometimes not used. I'd rather it not be used at all. I can see a little bit on this scene here, but it's very mild. The only way my eye can filter it is if I squint my eye. If I squint, I can filter some of that edge enhancement,
but also my cat Bear wants to come in. What are you doing, Bear? Okay, so I'll do another video. I'll do another rant over and out from the cats.